Good morning, all you TKF fans. This is Yakety Yak, and here is my yak setup. I've got about 99% of everything on here that I want to have. The only thing I don't have right now is things for the camera, for like GoPros and whatnot, but that's soon to come. Anyways, apologize for the canopy and all, but it's a little wet out here, so I figured just in case I got a little showered up, I would go ahead and put that up. But anyways, this is my Santa Cruz Raptor setup. First thing on here is everything is now on the front hatch for extra items needed. In the past I would use a crate, but no longer use the crate anymore. I carry an emergency kit. It's a little overkill, but I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared in case of any kind of issues and whatnot. And I've got it in a Ziploc baggie to make sure that it's waterproof. I carry a dry box for bigger items such as like my keys. I carry my driver's license and fishing license in there. And then after that, I carry two other items, well, three other items actually. I carry an extra emergency paddle, which is the yellow, and then I carry an assault paddle. That's more or less for if I'm hitting the backwater areas and I don't want to use my big paddle and I want to use something small, I'll use that. Or if I'm out in the deep water stuff, I can use the end of that for a 9-9 stick for a cobia or something if I catch a cobia and want to render him unconscious or to behave a little bit before putting him on the yak and stuff so he doesn't throw a fit. Anyways, that's what I've got there. And then the last thing but not least in there is my anchor. If I'm out deep water rig style, obviously I probably won't use that. I'll just troll the entire time and then use a rig anchor, which I don't have in here. It's in my storage right now, which is right behind me. Now, other than that, the only other thing left in there is I just got this installed recently. It's my my battery pack for the battery for which FTU Fishing Tackle Unlimited installed on here. Rico over on the west side did a very good job. That is the battery for my fish finder, and it goes up in there and out to here to my Lower Rance Elite 4 HDI. And I had that installed last week and took it out once. Got to mess with it a little bit on Friday. Totally excited about this. All my mounts for rod holders and everything just about are Railblaza, and kind of wanted to keep it consistent in case I wanted to put something in a different place. I would have different options to choose from. But anyways, this is the hatch here that I install everything on. Aside from the fish finder, I have right here something I've just added recently, and what this is a little strap. So I'm a little heavy set guy. If I can't get up, I can use this strap to help pull myself up if I want to stand in, like, say, marsh or the flats and stuff. And Rico installed that as well. I could have done it, but I had a lot of things going, and Rico was already working on the fish finder, so he installed that and did another fantastic job. Got a little stainless steel on there to where things won't rust up, and it's just a long strap. And I just keep it up in the back end. My feet are right there on these things, so my feet don't get in the way of nothing. Everything in the back here, I don't really touch. And if I have to slide forward, I could easily pull the fish finder off and slide forward so that I can get to the front hatch. And I can lay that down there, and when I slide across, I won't hit it or anything like that. And then when I'm done, I just put it right back in the mount, lock it up, and I'm back in business. This slides forwards or backwards, however you want it. Anyways, moving forward, we got the tackle box, or what Santa Cruz likes to call the tackle pod. This is awesome because this is the reason for not having a crate. Now, I didn't put all my fishing tackle gear in there and stuff, but I threw a couple items in there. But this item here, if you add this tackle pod on here, it allows more space in there. You cut the inside out and then install this pod on here, which actually gives you more room to putting things down in there. And I've got all my tackle and everything in there. In this case here, I just threw one of my little items in there, and all my different pliers and a little bit of mosquito spray, gloves and whatnot. And all these things get leashed up, so in case anything happens or I drop something and it falls in the water, or if I'm dealing with a fish and it knocks it out of my hand or whatever, and it knocks in the water, I can easily pick it up from there. Now, coming to the seat. This is called the comfort seat. Santa Cruz sells this as an extra. If not, you get just your standard seat that you get on most standard kayaks. Kind of nice. You can pull it, take it out, and put it up. You know, when you're not in use, hold it down, and you know, snap it right here, or when you're in use. And that is an extremely comfortable seat. I have an artificial hip implant, and you know, when I was in my old kayak, my hip towards the end of the day would be hurting because the artificial hip implant would just really nail down into the muscle and cause a lot of pain. This no longer causes me pain. This is very comfortable. I can go out at 7 o'clock in the morning, come back 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the evening from hitting the rigs or whatnot, and no pain whatsoever. So thanks, Santa Cruz, for coming out with this seat and being able to put it onto your kayak. Now, we got some more star ports here made by Railblaza. These mounts that I put in here are, and the rod holders, I got this and a lot of this set up from the Professor Salt, Glenn Madden, and he has a Raptor, same color, same everything. And I figured if it's not broke, why fix it? This is how he has it set up, works perfectly for him. So I didn't want to go and put something somewhere else, and then all of a sudden it didn't work, and now I've got holes to cover up, or I have to find a new place to put things, or just deal with it from where I'm at. I've installed them in the same spot Glenn has his. It's worked out wonderful. And these little star ports, you know, you just like on the fish finder, pop it out. You can even change the position and then relock it back in. It's that simple. I use it all the time, and able to change positions really easily out in the water. Got my cutting board back here. This is normally leashed with a leash in here, and I hook it up to one of these eyelets back here. But since I'm just showing this right now, I just figured I'd just let it sit back here just to show you. And then when I need it, I take it up front and do, like if I'm out at McFadden or whatnot, I'll use cut mullet on there, you know, that kind of thing. I could do it on the tackle pod, but I didn't really want to damage that up and scrape it and scratch it. Not that, you know, it would really matter. You're out there to fish and whatnot. Things aren't supposed to look that pretty, but that's small enough I can kind of keep back there, and if it falls off, it'll be on a leash and stuff, and no problem. Now, I've got two more rod holders down here. They're flushed in, and I usually put my extra rods in there. I usually, or if I'm out in the water, I'll usually put 3. One on that rod holder over there, one on this one right here, put one right here, and then usually right there, what I'll do is I'll put like a spear gaff or whatever. In this case, I actually ended up putting my spear gaff right here, and it's on a leash, but it also has a little floater, so if it falls in the water I can get it, and I can get to this just as easy. And this is my spear gaff. I got this idea from Ty Sutherland from 30 Miles Out. It cost me about $5 to make. And that little floater right there, I actually found that fishing one time, and nobody was out there, so I figured, oh, what the heck, you know, someone didn't want it, so took it and made use of it and threw it on a little bungee or whatever, and, you know, tied it up, and now I've got it. So anyways, that's the deal with that. Coming back here, this is going to be a temporary deal, but instead of where most people would put their crates, I've got my fish bag back here. And it is sideways. I'm eventually going to change. There's a company based out of Austin that I'm going to be using. I believe it's called F&G Outfitters. Carlos owns that company, and he's going to be building me a new fish bag here soon once I get with him, to where I don't have to go to the side. It'll just be unzipped on the top, and I can just turn it sideways and then pop the fish in there. But for right now, this works pretty good. It's one of the native fish bags. I think this is the largest one they make, and you know, if you get like a big old 50-inch king, it'll fit in there, and just the tail would stick out, and you just zip it up right here up to the tail, and you know, it'll be a little unzipped, but these are insulated, hold ice in there all day long. Used it plenty of times. It is actually with the straps on it. I've got a carabiner going onto that one. I've got a carabiner going to this side right there, and another carabiner right there, and then another carabiner right there, and that holds it down. I've actually, one time I just put that on there and I flipped it upside down with nothing on, and the fish bag stayed on just fine. If I had it do all over again, I'd probably put like some sort of stainless steel clip on there just to, you know, keep it from rusting. But you know, these things are like 99 cents at the dollar store, and you know, I could put new ones on when they go bad. All right, on the side here we've got an anchor trolley. Okay, I bought it over at ACK, Austin Canoe and Kayaks here in Houston. I've tried well nuts. If you read my thread recently, I actually had the well nuts pop out in the middle of the water, and I started taking on huge amounts of water. Well nuts do not work out very well in a lot of heavy current. So now I've got those bolted in. These hatches up here were not originally in. I had those installed so I could get rear access to there. And you know, for anything I might need to put back there. Originally we were going to put a transducer back there for my fish finder, of which it's no longer there. The transducer is actually mounted under and behind, up under the seat of the kayak, and it mounted down there, and then the wiring running through, of course, through this way and up into the battery. Now that battery is right there because we wanted to keep it centered for weight distribution. We could have slid it off to the side and back, but Rico really felt that that would be the best place for it, so it would center off the weight. I agreed. I didn't have a problem with it. So far, so good. No issues. I don't really hit it when I'm putting things in. You know, just lay it over top, and actually I'm used to sliding it over anyways, and so it kind of misses the that anyway, so it's no big deal. So the transducer is up underneath there. I've been told from a lot of people, be careful about mounting these transducers inside of the kayaks if you're using like an Elite 4 HDI as opposed to like a Mark 4. I have found recently that the only reason why those transducers don't work well is when you go to put the adhesive to glue it down. If those things have any bubbles on them, then that's what messes up the transducer from getting accurate images on certain settings. Rico knows how to do it where there is no bubbles whatsoever, and I used my fish finder and it works perfectly fine from inside the hole. I have no distortments or anything like that. Perfect. Anyways, so that's what the hatch is back here for anything I need to get any kind of rear access for. And Rico made sure that it was all gooped up to where there would be no water seepage in there. Coming around to the other side, I've got my my paddle, and that just sits on the side just like any other typical kayak, and it latches on right here. Okay, most standard kayaks have that, and then I use that eyelet for tethering it too. Anyways, last but not least for right now is if I'm doing any night fishing. Like recently I went with Asher out to Tiki, and one time I left a little early, didn't know I was going to ever be on the water before dawn, and I got concerned because I didn't have a light, but fortunately it didn't take very long to get lit up outside and for the sun to pop up, and no big deal. But you know, I figured I better get a light so I'm not breaking any laws and getting in any trouble. It's a 360 light. This is kind of a cool light. FTU sells it, ACK sells it, and this is awesome because it breaks down. Let's say you don't want this thing on there at the end of the day. This thing unclips right there just like all the other star ports for Railblaza does. That's a brand new one, so it takes a few seconds to get out. And what this does, it's like a tent. It pops loose. I'm doing this by myself right now, so I have to turn my hand so where I can get to it, and I'll show you after I get it broken down. And that's the way this does. It breaks down, and then this little orange thing for flag is also a bag, and it slides in there, and it's no more than a as funny as it sounds, like a lightsaber handle. And you can store it up in your front hatch and out of the way, and then that's what's left once it gets daylight. Unless you're just fishing all night, like we did that one time in Tiki. We got out there about 10, 11 o'clock at night, fished till about 5 in the morning, and you just leave it on until you get back ashore. So these are really cool, and they're battery powered to where you just have to use batteries. They're not having to be hooked up to any kind of a, you know, like the battery I have for my fish finder or anything like that. So I always just carry in my dry box a spare set of batteries, so if those run out, I can easily change them out. And at night, I always keep a little LED light on my head so I can see what I'm doing if I have to change those out. Anyways, that is my Santa Cruz Raptor. I hope you guys enjoyed. As I mentioned, I will be adding down the line some GoPro cameras or whatnot. And when I get that added on, I will revise this thread and video and repost. Okay, I'm Yakety Yak. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, hit me up through a PM, or if you got my number, give me a call. I'm out. Bye.